Can I ask you a personal question? You seem to be, and you are, a very deep strategic thinker in your policies. You've presented so many budgets. When there is a shallow political argument against you, like when Rahul Gandhi said that how many people from which caste are in the halwa ceremony, a lot of the people in the audience, they were not amused, they were baffled at the nature of the question that was put to you, because you're a serious person, and running a finance ministry, being finance minister of India is serious business. You don't wake up and think about political issues all the time. How do you respond to it? You've been through personal attacks, people have underestimated your ability, you've every time come out strong, but when, after all these years, that kind of an argument was put, when that attempt was made to pull you into what I call caste card politics, what goes on in your mind? Because there's a politician also somewhere. So,
no, but I also think, other than attempting to pull me down, he's doing a disservice for the cause that he pretends to take up.
Why so?
In this case, for instance, talking about halwa, talking about how many scheduled castes are there,
yes,
how many OBCs are there. If you're really intending to serve the cause of scheduled castes,
yes,
it's not a halwa ceremony on which you'll question that.
That's true.
You'll do so much more to help the cause of really scheduled castes and OBCs, rather than say, during the halwa, if you had 5 fellows belonging to OBCs or SCs or STs, you've served the cause. Somewhere, I feel the people who are around him, helping him, are not putting the gravity of issues.
True. And the challenge.
Before he takes it up. One, it doesn't matter to me whether he wants to undermine me or pull me down. I'll stand up with my defense. But the cause that for which you're pretending to take up, I remember that Batta Parsol sometime in 2011, 12.
Yep.
You went in favor of the farmers. Tell me, what are you doing for farmers? And look at the way in Karnataka, the Congress party has helped, directly or indirectly, people to claim farmers' lands in the name of Waqf.
Waqf board.
Where is the Congress party and where is Batta Parsol? Where is Rahul Gandhi when it comes to Karnataka's farmers? So the gravity of the cost that he takes is momentary. That minute I ask and I forget. Move to the next, move to the next, move to the next. He's just not gathering any moss.
Yeah.
He's just moving. So for me, the worry is India's opposition. And I'm sorry to say this, I'm not trying to pull down anybody. India's opposition needs leaders who can stand up in the parliament and question the government.
Oh, yes.
Do stand up.
That's so amazing.
And make sure that people feel, well, as opposition, look at the way the government is put on the mat by the leaders of the opposition. No, now they're saying even within 6 months after Lok Sabha election, we're tantalizingly close to 100 Congress got. And thought from 55, if I went to 100, people are with me. Yes, people are with you for being in the opposition, but you're not doing that job. You're talking on halwa one day, you're talking on youth another day, you're taking a copy of the constitution when the chairman says you're not supposed to hold anything in your hand. No pictures, no placards, no books, no whatever. But you're doing all these. And you're often seen sitting like this in the house. I mean, excuse me.
Yeah, like this, something like,
I'm sorry. I don't want to dramatize it.
No, it's the truth.
I want an opposition leader who sits to ask the question.
Oh, yes.
So the moment he gets up, all of us should say, oh my God, let's see what he's going to ask now.
That's the point.
You're sort of making...
Yeah.
What kind?
God. I know. We need an opposition.
Yes, we need
an opposition.
Who can speak for those who want to question the government.
Yeah. They say there's a quote, a rolling stone gathers no moss. Rahul Gandhi is going to think he's very cool. He's like a member of the Rolling Stones band, given what you said. But less said, the better, Let me just change the subject there, ma'am. But on a serious note, you have opposition state governments which are in trouble. How does the center view them? The BJP goes for the kill on them. Like Himachal Pradesh, they say there's a toilet tax nowadays, and There was another controversy recently on the samosas that were meant for the chief minister were consumed by someone else. Silly issues. Then Karnataka has a fairly interesting deficit, and we had Mr. Sitharaman actually give advice with D.K. Shivakumar sitting next to him that next time you make promises, please think whether you have the money for it. Problem, Mr. Kharge doesn't realize there are cameras everywhere. He was recorded saying that. We debated it at night. We keep looking for these issues also. Now, are you a little too tough with the state governments? Ms. Sitharaman, if you don't mind my asking you, because all of them point their fingers at you. All these chief ministers, they point their fingers at Prime Minister, of course, but they point their fingers at you saying, Nirmala Sitharaman, Finance Ministry, allocation of funds, Niti Ayog, they have complaints everywhere that we are not being given what are... So what if we give freebies? It's our policy. Government should support us long term, etc. Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, all of them. So how much truth is there in that comment that there's a little
Not
bit of...
one bit of truth.
Are you sure of that?
I'm sorry to sound so aggressive on
No, I like you aggressive. You're no longer
come
aggressive.
on.
When you were spokesperson, you were very aggressive. Nowadays, you've become far less aggressive. But please,
You
we like
accuse me,
we like the
Finance
aggressive
Minister.
Nirmala Sitharaman on top of those.
Arnab will be the first fellow to say, what is this finance minister? She doesn't
No.
contain, she can't take
No,
criticism.
please.
She shouts, she gets
Not-
aggressive and look at Gautam Gambhir. He's been told, why is he always contented? He's a good cricketer. He's gone there to
Amazing.
get cricket to some order.
Amazing.
But even there we tell him, no, you can't be this, you can't be that. Like that I'll be told.
No,
You're not a spokesperson anymore. Why are you getting angry? Why are you giving answers like that? So I'm remaining quiet. But now you provoked me adequately.
And we want you to bat like Shrikant now, ma'am.
I'm honestly saying, and I repeat with my eyes wide open, looking into the
Yes.
very august audience.
Yes, ma'am.
There's not one element of truth in this, that the center is denying states their funds. Whichever state says it, I'll come and stand one-on-one to say this. It's not right. Because it may be a different story that they want more. They want more either because they're giving freebies or because they don't know to generate revenues, or they are not able to contain the loopholes, or they are not able to, look at newer ways of getting revenue. It may be anything. But to say that the center is denying them funds is absolute.
Yes. Yes.
I was going to say nonsense.
Yes, it's all right.
Maybe that's not right.
No, it's all
but baseless.
Yes.
See, the formulation of how much has to be given to a state for the next 5 years is decided by a finance commission, a constitution body.
Yes.
And if that body finally gives a report and that's accepted and post that the formulation is on the central government, we do it accordingly. There's no way I can have, I like Madhya Pradesh more than Kerala, so cut down on Kerala, give Madhya Pradesh. Impossible. The system is completely fitted with mechanism that automatically every month the devolution happens. So that argument has been placed several thousand times, and there was one state which has taken us to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has also very clearly said you go amicably sort it out with the central government. On the larger issue of whether the central government should oversee the borrowings of the state, which is Article 293, given in the Constitution, an authority to the central government, because sovereign guarantee is given by the central government for states' borrowings. And therefore, the central government is vested with authority to oversee borrowings of the states. And legitimate borrowing, let us say now, 3% of their GSDP, cannot be denied and cannot be put under condition. I don't put conditions for you to borrow if it is within the 3% limit.
But Bengal, for example.
So whichever state, within your reasonable, permissible limit you borrow, nobody can say no. But beyond that, and aside from that, you create newer bodies which don't have the legitimacy to borrow, which don't account to the state assembly, whose revenues are not controlled by the assembly. If such bodies are made to borrow, and to them you give the right of your duties, meaning liquor policy, you have excise duties imposed on every bottle which is sold, and through that the revenue comes, and you have to come to the house, meaning assembly or the parliament, to say how much you earned. Now, suppose you transfer the right of the excise completely to this body which is not accountable in the assembly, and say the revenue earnings coming from the excise duty will go to this body, with that they'll pay the loan, and the borrowing is taken without any kind of restraint. CAG has pulled up states saying, what are you doing? This money which comes out of the excise duty should go to the assembly, it should go into the budget, should be accounted for, and the vote sought in the house.